formation is a formation who is the best suited to the dimension of the football pitch.
I'm sorry, Mr. Wenger, but that's just not the case in modern soccer. In fact, the 4-4-2 is going out of style for many different reasons. Let's get started on some of those reasons. So what we got here is yellow is lined up in a classic 4-4-2 and red is lined up in a 4-3-3. Now, I want you to notice something. Red is outnumbering the midfield as it stands right now. So the yellow team does not have many good options. But what happens when the red team decides to press the yellow team? As we can see here, the red team has 3 strikers that can press the back 4 of the 4-4-2 while still having a overpowered midfield with 3 midfield players that can press the 2 central midfielders, while our outside backs can also cover the wingers and 2 center backs can cover the 2 strikers. And actually the beauty of the 3 midfield here is the 6 can actually help with the strikers if needed, or if the midfielder needs to help press up higher with one of their strikers, the 6 can now take in this position and still have that man covered, which makes the 4-4-2 simply inadequate of playing out of the back against a system such as the 4-3-3. This usually limits teams to playing long balls over the top, hoping to get it up to one of their strikers, simply bypassing the midfield. But as we know, this is low percentage and usually does not work at the higher levels. Now, where there is some redeeming quality with the 4-4-2 is defensively. One will have to point out that having 2 banks of 4, one in the midfield and one in the defense, will probably never fall out of fashion defensively, because that allows them quite a bit of cover to get through. The 2 strikers can help cover the pivot right here. The 2 midfielders can take on the 2 attacking midfielders. And of course, our outside midfielders can cover the wing backs, while now we have 4 defensive players that can deal with the 3 front strikers. So while the 4-4-2 does fall short when it comes to offense, it can still be utilized defensively, which is probably why the teams that we see using it the most are some of the lower level teams in the Premier League that need to defend and try to play direct and counter against better teams. Now, on the other side of things, there's a reason Johan Cruyff would actually have told you that the 4-3-3 is the best suited formation to cover all of the pitch. Now, to be fair, I do not think there is any one best formation, but I think he does have a point. For one, having the 3 midfielders, we overpower the 2 midfielders here, which have to make a decision. Do they stay back and mark these 2, or does one of them press high and mark the pivot? And an important thing, this pivot is a very useful tool, especially since in the modern game, goalkeepers will play as a 11th field player in the build-up. So if the strikers press up on the center backs, the goalkeeper can play to the pivot, who then the pivot can then play into the space here, either to the center back that's moved forward, or depending on how the team works, it could be to the outside back here. And then this creates space to come forward, because now the defense has to adjust. Someone has to push up. That leaves new options to pass to, and we can move from here. And that is all we're going to cover for today, because to get into building out of the back with the 4-3-3, that's something we can cover in our next video.